Shout out to everybody out there who gave Joe Biden credit for being able to read off a teleprompter. I didn't know that was such an amazing thing to do. I mean, because that's what teleprompters are made for, reading off of them. Now, I would give him props if he was able to take a teleprompter and bake me a cake with it. Because, see, then that would be amazing. But reading off of it, not so amazing. But okay, we're grading Joe Biden on a curve. A curve of 81-year-old presidents. Good old Joe started off his address by talking about funding Ukraine as if funding Ukraine was like freeing the slaves. It's like we decided to do an Emancipation Proclamation for Ukrainians, and history will be told about all the money we spent in order to watch thousands upon thousands of people die in Ukraine, because that's the American way. Folks, I'm really trying to understand why you applaud us funding wars in Ukraine. It doesn't make sense to me. And then he kind of wedged it, because at the end, he's also talking about war, but it's a different war. He's talking about Gaza, and he's talking about how in Gaza, hey, we're going to drop some humanitarian aid. This is going to make things better for all the people that are suffering, the people that are on the verge of starving. Oh, great. Here goes an idea, Dog Brandon. Won't we stop funding the Gaza war? Then we wouldn't have to drop humanitarian aid to Gaza. Get it? Well, I guess I'm just too much of a radical. Guess I'm too much of a lefty. Ending the war in order to stop suffering, instead of trying to put a Band-Aid on the suffering that we're causing. And for anyone who hadn't cut their TVs off yet, we got Joe Biden next talking about January 6th, as if January 6th was a watershed moment. Hey, here's a tip for anybody who's not addicted to CNN or MSNBC. Look up coups in the last 100 years. Guess what's not going to come up? You guessed it, January 6th. Then Joe Biden went for the big hitter right here with Roe Vs Wade. Roe Vs Wade, and he was talking directly to the Supreme Court justices, shaming them, letting them know, hey, women are back in town. I hate to sound like Kevin Samuels, but you know what? If the Democratic Party really wanted to keep Roe versus Wade, they would have went on and codified it under Obama when they had the House and the Senate. Part of me thinks they did it strategically so they could run on it in 2024. You got to lose something to know what you lost. It reminds me a lot of Trump, who told Republicans, don't you work with them Democrats right now on my border bill. We don't need no bipartisan border bill. I'm going to run on that in 2024. Different presidents, same tactics. The only difference is you're going to hear about Trump's scheme for the next 6 months like a Taylor Swift song, constantly in rotation. And the Joe Biden scheme will get as much airtime as a sitcom starring Ty Bridges and Carrot Top. Anybody who watched this State of the Union and got excited enough to go on social media and post how Dog Brandon's back, you're part of the problem. Seek help. I'm Tim Black, and I yield the balance of my time.